packaging has opportunities to solve many of the global needs of the world, including food distribution and supplying areas of the world that need nourishment.
The two big challenges that packaging can really help solve is to create compliance and improve product outcomes. So I think packaging can play a very life-critical role in these two areas. When I say compliance, I mean by especially in the healthcare segment, that it promotes the adherence of particular medicine with a particular group of patients who are otherwise will not be taking it on time or will not take it at all. So packaging promotes adherence and packaging promotes compliance. At the same time, for other products, it promotes outcomes. So if you can't have a yogurt from a tub the way it is supposed to be, or if the yogurt is not staying fresh till the time it is supposed to be, then the objective of packaging is a big failure.
I think one of the biggest ways that packaging can address some of today's challenges is dealing with food waste. There's still a very, very high percentage of food that gets wasted even in developed markets, and packaging innovation can truly help in that area.
Packaging has the opportunity today to address many challenges and opportunities. The one that I really look to is technology transfer, whether that's taking a great technology from a developed or served economy and applying it to an underdeveloped or underserved economy, or taking some of those very practical applications that people have for packaging, such as in India. Every package is reusable, repurposable in some way. Taking those lessons from those economies and applying them to consumers' lives in economies that are more developed. Just taking a more practical approach. Again, taking that solutions, functional approach to packaging innovation and cross-fertilizing the economies around the world and the consumers around the world and using packaging to serve their needs in whatever way that may be.
This is what I'm seeing is use the packaging to reduce food waste. We know that there are some part of the world that people are having some issues in terms of nutrition, so packaging is one of the way to distribute food, yeah, and help feed the people in some parts of the world that don't have product due to some local conditions.
I think we have to define or broaden the definition of packaging. I think packaging starts from the very source of the raw material all the way to the very end of it. And there's so many different kinds of packaging in the middle that I think can also be looked at in terms of what's the innovation there and how does it improve the supply chain. And that's where there's a lot of opportunity. And I think a lot of the world can learn from that back end of the packaging industry. I mean, the packaging of materials from the very start of it all the way through the channels. So I think that's where there's a lot of innovation, and I think there's a lot of recognition that has to be looked at there.
Packaging does have a huge opportunity and responsibility to solve some of the large problems in the world today, and the most probably the most impactful problem that it can help with is food waste. And food waste, of course, then contributes to world hunger. And if we're not getting the food to the areas that it needs to get to safely, then we're going to have a problem. So what we're realizing with some of the larger retailers, as far as packaging goes, we have to make sure that that package, especially, for example, for produce, is sufficient to get it there safely. And if it's not, then we really need to revisit it, because it not only is contributing to the lack of food to some regions, but it's also contributing to a huge amount of scrap, if you will, or waste in our system.
So packaging has the opportunity to address some of the biggest challenges, because we are faced with those challenges every day. And I think we look at sustainability. We can do more. We can do more with plastics, moving them to renewables. We can look at how we impact the environment. We can make consumer convenience, and I think the DuPont Awards, when you see the winners, you'll see how those things are reflected. So I think we can use innovation, we can be sustainable, and that's the great beauty of packaging.